Hey guys, welcome to Breaking 80 podcast, where I am a young girl Tammy, and this is my buddy Joel Wilson, and we will talk about our journey to go low, baby, and break 80, maybe.
Maybe. If I'm going to do it, it's going to be this weekend. I'm playing golf Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday.
And loose?
Or I could be laying in the back of the golf cart going, baby, just take me home. I'm done.
No doubt about that. You know what you need is some drive force, workout, pre-round supplement. And you know what? It's all about consistency.
Yes.
This game that we play. So yeah, by that third day, you might be like well heated up and keep focused every day, keep hydrated.
I will be taking it. I will be using it in my drive force Yeti cooler that I have, and I will be using it, and I will see if I can break 80 because I have to do it before you. It's the thing now. I have to do it before you.
I get that. Yeah, no, I get that, and I feel the same. So
this is the 4th of July weekend. Are you playing golf?
Oh, I will play 2 days this weekend. It's kind of broken up. I think that the real strategy is 3 days in a row, a bunch of days in a row, the consistency.
Yeah, that's how it's going to be. And I'm going to start playing more because I am not going to be beat by a blonde breaking 80. I have to win this one.
Yeah, where would your man card go?
I know. I can't do that.
It's fine. I'll take your man card. You just
Sounds good. Now, did you watch the Rocket Classic?
Man, I watched some of the highlights based on how the round went and watching Aldrich Potgieter.
Yes,
Potgieter win it in a 5-round playoff. I think I'm going to have to go back and watch the whole thing. I heard he was on the struggle bus to start. I watched some of his interviews where he said, he was shaky, he was nervous until like the 6th hole. And then he settled in, and then he was playing from behind a little bit, and he said that actually motivated him to play a little harder.
I tell you, that kid can hit the ball a long way.
I was watching somebody break his swing down on YouTube, and he's the new big driver in the PGA. So yeah, move over, DeChambeau and Rory. Welcome, Aldrich Potgieter.
Potgieter. I just like saying the name, Potgieter.
Potgieter. At 20 years old, he's going to be doing a lot for a while. So this should be a fun 10, 20 years to watch.
Yes. If his swing can hold up, I tell you. But yeah, I watched him. His average drive was 330 or something like that. On the par 5, the 4th playoff hole, the par 5, he drove it 364.
Wow.
I know. And they were like, well, the bunkers on this hole are like 310 to carry, which he'll have no problem. He had no problem carrying those bunkers.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you're turning par 5s into par 4s.
Absolutely. Yeah, the advantage there is nuts.
His club sequence on that par 4 was driver, 8-iron, putter for a birdie.
Unbelievable.
How can you do that? I'm driver, 9-iron, pitching wedge, putter for a quad.
Crazy. This kid is previously a rugby player and a wrestler. One day he was just like, let me try golf. And like a whole bunch of us, that's all it takes. And then you're hooked. Yeah. And at 17, started winning his first tournaments, and 18 joined the tour. Well, qualified.
Yes. Well, I know that next.
And won big on Corn Ferry, and now he's here.
Yep. And next April, he has to book a flight to Augusta because it's where he's going to be next April. He's going to be going down those Magnolia Lane to the Masters.
That's going to be really exciting. Always my favorite tournament of the year.
It is. That's a good one. Did you see that tournament? The cut was 6 under. They had 84 players qualified for the cut. They had to start the rounds like at 8-something in the morning because there were so many players cut.
Crazy.
They're the most they've had for a cut since, what was it, 2016 or something like that.
It's crazy. It's amazing. First at the end, minus 22, 23 to win it.
Well, 600 was the cut. That means you shoot 5 under, you're going home empty-handed.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's tough as well.
Yes. and you don't want to go home empty-handed, or you don't want to quit in the middle of a round. I know that Spieth did that a couple weeks ago, where he had to quit in the middle of the round because of illness. Brooks Koepka cut at the middle of a round, and he decided to make his exit, shall we say, memorable. How's that?
Yeah, did he, he said that he quit on hole 8 due to illness. Maybe it was some mental illness, and we would have been there. I did see it. I saw him take out a tee box marker and almost take out a fan with it.
Yes. Now, we're actually, that's going to get a new actually, that's going to be called the Wyndham Clark experience now. So anybody who has a mental breakdown is called the Wyndham Clark.
Yeah, no doubt. And you know what? You might as well get it out on the course. Release your anger. I'm sure he went home and was angry, but yeah, again, don't take it out in the locker room. Walk it off, and we've all been there. The golf experience is, they say it's the game won and lost between the ears.
Yes,
and
it is.
We've all been there, filled with rage on the course. I was just upset on the golf course the other day, and you could, surprise, golf does that. And you just got to work through it. I've read a lot of golf psychology books and put a lot of work into my mental game so that I can get over it and not let it ruin my entire round.
Yes.
Do you have any tricks or tips for getting through that moment?
I do, and it's all from what my wife said about 2.5 years ago when I was playing golf. It was before the cancer had gone, but you think you're good. And I hit a shot, and the shot was really bad. And I took my club and I slammed it into the ground. It's like, damn it. And she looks at me and she goes, "Babe, you're not good enough to be mad at yourself at this game." And I'm like, "You're absolutely right." She goes, "We don't play enough to expect to be good, so you can't get mad at yourself." Said, now, if you played every day and this is what you did for a living, then yeah, I'd get pissed. But no, you're not mad enough to be good. You're not good enough to go mad at yourself.
Yeah, those are some true words of wisdom. She hit the nail on the head. You're not playing every single day.
Yeah.
Then there's no reason to beat yourself up over this. If you're playing every day and you're on the struggle bus for a couple of days, you can be mad. There is a book by Sam Snead, and I'm sure I have it right behind me, The Education of a Golfer. I love this book. It's like an autobiography that is him talking. And he said, he would get angry on the course. He would have to release the anger, shut it off, move on. But for him, he needed to release it and then move on. So I guess an outburst is okay. We do have to, I snapped a 6-iron over my knee last year. And the problem was, I brought the wrong club to the wrong area of the golf course. That was really the problem. I was trying to hit my 6-iron out of some deep grass, and it was a cart path only. So I only brought one club. Live and learn. And I took a few shots out of the rough before I finally got it out. And I was so angry, I just snapped my club over my knee. I didn't have a 6-iron for months until I got prepared. But golf does that to you. And I put a lot of work in last year, and last year was a rough year to start the year. And I put a lot of work in real psychological practices in my house, breathing techniques, and to be able to overcome it in the middle of a round so you don't ruin your day. And you sure don't want to leave when you're halfway into the back 9 and you're going to do what? Turn your cart around and go home, So you've got to get it together. You got to work on some real techniques, because golf will make you crazy.
It will make you crazy. I know when I played baseball, you have to have a real short memory. You take a pitch, you swing really bad. You have to step out of the batter's box, forget about that. Same thing with a golf swing. You got to forget about that. Last time I played at the course here, there's a couple of par 5s, and I did really well on the par 5s. I hit a beautiful drive, probably 270 down the middle, and I was about 230 from the hole, okay, or in the middle of the green. And I took out a 3-wood, and I figured I'm just going to crush this thing. And I hit it, but I lost sight of it. I'm like, where'd the ball go? I don't know. No one knows. No one could find the ball. No one could see the ball. Great. So they're hitting their balls because they're not as far, they're chunking it up there. And I'm looking going, I got to be close, but I don't know. So I just said, screw this. I went over to where I thought the ball was. I dropped it, hit a provisional, put it up on the green. Okay. As we're pulling the golf carts up to the thing, my wife goes, there's a ball right next to the green here, past the green. I go, that's not a Wilson, is it? She walks over to it and says, it's a Wilson that's got your logo on it. I go, wow, I hit that thing like 235. I said, well, pick that ball up. I'm playing this one.
Yeah.
And it went through the green and was just off the green on the back side of it. It's like, that's pretty cool.
That is cool. Man, don't you wish we had a gallery out there spotting our balls for us so we didn't have to run all over?
Yeah. And Margaret and I, my wife and I, we have come up with a thing we call Marshall rules. If we hit the ball and we have an idea of where it's at, then we'll just drop it. If we can't find it, we know a marshal would have found it for us. So we're going to drop it here and continue to play. That's what we
That's
did.
cool. You know, and sometimes we notice sometimes on a crowded golf course, maybe it's a Sunday, there's a lot of obviously new golfers out there. They're just picking balls up. And I've been with people doing this, not really thinking about that there's a fairway on the other side of the trees or right, you know, side by side fairways. And they're just picking balls up and they're like, oh, look, a free ball. And we've been handed a ball before. Some older gentleman, gosh, he must have been in his 70s, picked up my husband's golf ball and was just driving along with it and said, oh, hey, is this your ball? And he was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, I found it back there. It was like, oh, thanks.
I know. We were playing one of the par fours, and one of the guys I was playing with, he hits the ball in the other fairway. There's a tree line, obviously, and it goes through the trees, and it's in the other fairway. So we pull up, and he's going over there. Meanwhile, a ball comes through the trees onto our fairway. So basically, the two guys are playing each other's ball. I mean, I played in other fairways going back. I'm like, what are the odds of that happening? Actually, a lot, because that's how we hit. We are not going to hit fairways in regulation all the time.
Very challenging to do. And it sounds like Aldrich Potgieter did not hit a lot of fairways on Sunday.
Yes.
But it didn't matter. It's like Rory at the Masters in the final round. Sometimes it works out for these guys. It really screws up my round. I don't have a great draw from downhill through the trees onto the green like Rory did at the Masters.
Yeah.
It's not move. You know, I'm lucky to punch out.
I will tell you who's been hitting a lot of fairways and a lot of greens lately, and that's Keegan Bradley, Captain America.
Captain America, Keegan. No doubt. He finished this round this past week tied at 41.
Yep.
He moved up the world golf rankings to number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a quarterback controversy, baby.
I know. Does he play? Does he not?
Does he play? Does he not? And I understand Keegan is going to be sitting out the upcoming John Deere Classic, so he shouldn't move up this next week. Right. But he will be in the Scottish Open, and he'll play the Open.
Yes.
So it's going to be a lot of fun to see.
I think America needs Captain America on the team.
Need Captain America, baby. Yeah, I mean, he should bring the shield. He should put on the uniform. I want to see the whole thing. So,
I love it. I love that. That's good.
I love it. Yeah, I'm here for Keegan Bradley. I'm excited to watch his year unfold before us.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, momentum, baby. You got to play.
I agree, and I think he should play. He's good right now, and he should be out there playing. There's some people, you know, once you get the top 6 automatically, and then you get 7, 8, 9 should automatically be in. Then you get those last bit. Do you take, you know, a Spieth who was 25th? You take a Cantley who was like 14th? You know, do you take an Akshay Bhatia who's like 12th or 13th? Do you take them? There's a lot of names out there, but
no doubt
the course is a tough course up in New York. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see who makes the team and who doesn't make the team. So
no doubt about that. And I'm always here for some Justin Thomas, some JT action. He's my gamer all the time in the Ryder Cup. You know, whatever kind of year he's having, he brings so much energy. So every week I'm going to advocate for JT as well. He's my Brett Favre, Baker Mayfield gamer. He's a little kid out there high-fiving. He's so fired up. And I love that energy. You have to have that energy on the team.
I hope he makes it. I know he had a good round. Obviously, he won the RBC Heritage in Hilton Head here in the Carolinas. Man, he hasn't put everything together, and it concerns me. Is he going to what JT is going to show up? Is it the one that won the RBC, or is it the one that misses the cut by 4 shots? So, and right now he's all over the board.
Yeah, and and it's interesting because I think he definitely, I'd have to look at the numbers, has a better record on the Ryder Cup.
Yes.
It's just the energy. He just is a gamer like that. Than he has on the PGA Tour itself. So, and maybe it's the excitement. It's incredible that he's a guy who can thrive off of excitement in golf, because that's really hard to do, to have your heart racing, adrenaline pumping, and play great golf.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what he does.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the Ryder Cup players should be paid? Oh, and for those of you who are on audio, you can see her head go back and forth going, good question.
It's one of those things where it's your honor, your honor. And so it is one of those things you get. These are real once in a lifetime opportunities. If you get called up to the Ryder Cup big leagues,
yes,
and the President's Cup, I got to believe, just like the Olympics, it's your honor, to play and represent your country.
That's how I feel. Exactly. But there are people who have advocated paying and would threaten to sit out the Ryder Cup if they didn't get paid. And
and I think they get paid with enough sponsorships. They get a lot of sponsors. So I'm not sure it wouldn't matter to me if they said, "Hey, Tammy, do you want to come and work the Ryder Cup? I will put all of my money on the table and fly and do whatever it is voluntarily at the Ryder Cup." I'm here for that.
Okay.
So.
If they want me to, I'll wear a bikini and have their logo tattooed on my back. I will do that.
Yeah, is this what you want from me? So, yeah.
Exactly. Whatever you want, I'm there for you. Exactly.
Yeah. And Backpage Black, that's not even leaving the States. Just throwing it out there. Backpage Black, Ryder Cup. Are you listening? Is this thing on?
You know what? I wonder how far I am from Bethpage Black. Bethpage Golf Course, I am 10-hour drive from there, from where I live. 10 hours.
That's pretty good, man. And you know what? From Southern California, these are direct flights, so I could beat you there.
Yes, you could.
I could meet you there. Yeah.
Right, but you wouldn't have a vehicle. I'd have to pick you up at the airport.
Fine. Done and done.
I
would pay. I was looking at tickets for Bethpage Black at the beginning of the year. I want to say they were like $600 a day for entry fee to go and be a spectator. And I'm sure that the tickets are sold out. And I'm still trying to convince some friends of mine to go with me. But I'd love to be there day 4.
It would be cool.
I'd love to be there any day, but day 3, day 4.
Well, here's something I have actually, and I contacted not only the PGA but also the Korn Ferry Tour about getting press passes because we are media.
I'm here for that. Yeah,
I'm too.
We should.
How much tickets cost for the practice rounds at the Ryder Cup? Right now, I don't know if there's tickets available or not. I would do it though, but I would love to be. I'm sorry. This is for the week. 2 general admission tickets are $6,500
for 2. So we split the cost. That's what I'm hearing. So
yeah, wow. The cheapest ones are $4,800 and they go $65, or you can get 2 garden tickets for $30,000.
Wow. So maybe I need an invite. I will volunteer my services. I'd love to go and do anything at the Ryder Cup.
Well, here at $30,000, I'll pay for the first 10. You handle the next 20. How's that?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh,
I just need to find somebody to come on me.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of little things that's going to be a little cheaper and a little bit closer to home, we got the John Deere coming up, and that's
right.
I'll tell you what's bothered me a little bit, and I saw a quote by Scheffler last week, and I mentioned it on our last podcast, is that we are in July, basically July 1st when this podcast comes out, that all of the elevated events are done. 3 of the 4 majors are done. So the only thing we have left are the Rockets and the John Deeres and stuff like that, which are not so elevated. And that kind of bothers me. I think they should push some of the elevated courses back and maybe move the PGA from May to September to give it some, some stuff at the end of the year because it's like all the good stuff is done now.
Yeah, and that's tough. This Rocket Open, the Rocket Classic, whatever it was called this past week. There weren't a lot of big names there, but the John Deere's going to have some big names. We're going to see Jason Day, Max Homa, Ricky Fowler, and but we will not see Scotty or Rory or Keegan. But we'll still see some guys that we really love on the tour this week.
Well, I tell you and you get that Max Homa, he had better do something to find his swing real quick, or he can go downhill real quick in a hurry. Because you talk about someone who's all over the board. He's having a bad 2025 right now.
Yeah,
and he's a Southern California guy.
I know. I think he's a San Diego, SoCal guy. So is Ricky Fowler. Ricky Fowler is from real close to where I live. And I love these boys for sure. Max Homa, he's like a Tony Finau. When you see him, for myself, you kind of melt. You're like, this is such a good guy. I want to see this guy win it all. I want to see all the success come their way. And it's tough to see Homa on the struggle bus. He is always locked mentally. He's so focused. He doesn't crack. So I don't know what's going on. Something's going on internally because Max Homa has all the skills to be the best in the world. So I don't know what it is. And I hope he's doing well. I hope his family life is well. And maybe work with Dr. Bob Rotella as well. It seems to be helping Rory.
Yeah.
And Rotella's books help me. If you guys aren't reading Bob Rotella's golf psychology books, Google any one of them. I listen to these audiobooks when I'm driving around. And this guy has some incredible tips for success.
Yes, he does. Well,
so something's got to be going on.
Yes, it has to be. And then after the John Deere, we have the Scottish Open, which is up in North Berwick, Scotland. I love that. And then
that's our family roots, baby.
You got it. And then the Open is going to be in Northern Ireland at Royal Portrush, where Shane Lowry won a few years ago in the driving rain. And it's the Open Championship's always going to be driving rain.
Yeah, that's really exciting. A lot of big boys. We're going to see the Live golfers and the PGA unite.
Yeah.
We will see Rom. We'll see some Phil. Of course, we'll see DeChambeau and Brooks, and then we'll have the PGA guys all together. There's always the debate: who's doing it better? Can these guys hang?
Well, let me ask you a question. On the Open Championship, is the winner going to have an American flag or a European country flag?
Oh man, that's tough to say because I feel like Rory could go and get it. He's on, but we'll see what he does. He's had a little bit of time off. He had a bad week, recently, but he'll have a little bit of time off rolling into it. Man, and then there are these surprises. So I'd like to believe Scotty Scheffler's preparing. He wants to go in there and get it. And but Rory, I feel like he's got some momentum. But do you think Rory's going to take the rest of the year off mentally?
I think mentally he got the Grand Slam. I think mentally he's taking the rest of the year off. He's going to go out there and he's going to play. But and he even said that there's not a lot more to drive him this year because he won the Grand Slam. And
that's cool.
If he's got that mental, he deserves it. He's come where he's achieved what he needed to achieve. I think the Open Championship. I will bet that an American wins the Open Championship. Well, I don't know. It's Royal Portrush. Oh, that's hard to say. That's real difficult.
Yeah, it's hard to say. The Europeans, they have a bunch of great players. If I'm being honest, I don't think it's going to be a Live golfer. Although I actually would love to see Brooks get it together and be Brooks Koepka exciting. I would love to see Brooks throw down. And I hope he does that. He takes a couple of weeks to himself. He left the Dallas Open.
Yes.
But I got to believe that after having a little bit of a meltdown where you had to withdraw from illness, then mentally you're not there to win a major this year.
I agree. I'm going to throw some names out there, and you tell me either yes, he has a shot, or no, he doesn't really have a shot. Are you ready?
Sure.
Jordan Spieth.
Yes.
He's got a shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's always got a shot if he can string 4 days together. Yeah.
Keegan Bradley.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Captain America.
Exactly. Robert McIntyre, who won the Scottish Open last year. What do you think? Left-handed golfer.
Playing backwards doesn't help.
Right.
But
here's one for you. Tommy Fleetwood.
man, he's got something to prove, I think.
Yes, he does.
After last week. So yeah, I think he's got a shot.
Here's one that I think is going to be a sleeper. Watch this, and you mark this on your calendar. This is when this podcast comes out. It's going to be July 1st. Justin Rose.
Oh, definitely. Actually, I was going to throw his name out there. I think he's been playing well since last fall. You know, he was in the playoff at the Masters. He's got some momentum going as well. They're in Europe. I think there's a lot of good energy for Justin
I
Rose.
think so too. How about Tom Kim?
I love Tom Kim.
I know you do.
I know. I'm a Tom Kim groupie. So, man, I would love to see that. I don't actually see that because there's just so many like big guns coming to play. We've just got some LIV, we've got the DP, we've got the PGA. So it's hard to say, but Tom Kim has what it takes. There's no doubt.
Yes, he does have what it takes.
I think he's the sleeper. If he does it, it's going to be an upset.
Oh, yes. I believe that Xander won it last year. What do you think about him defending Xander Schauffele?
Boy, I wonder if anybody won it back to back.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Probably Tiger. He's done everything else.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So probably. Oh, and actually, I think Padraig Harrington won it. Did he win? He won the Open in 2007 and 2008. And I bring that up because Padraig Harrington just won the Champions Tour US Open.
Yeah, and he also got into an argument with Roger Mulvey, too. Did you see that?
No, I didn't get to see that.
Yeah, Roger Mulvey was a little bit too close to him when on the broadcasting, and he basically told him so. So they got into a little argument. There have been 5 back-to-back winners of the Open Championship.
Okay.
Patty did it. Patty did it in 07, 08.
Tiger.
Tiger 05 and 06.
Okay.
Tom Watson, 82 and 83.
Okay.
Lee Trevino, 71, 72.
That's awesome.
And then Arnie's Army was there, 61 and 62.
I was going to throw Arnie out there. Okay, cool. Then Watson. Yeah, 61, 62. And then he was the player captain combination in 63 for the wife. Oh, was it 62?
It was 62. You're right. It was 62.
Yeah.
He was pretty good back then.
Yeah, he was on fire. And you know what? When someone is on fire, you play the player. There you go.
I got Arnie.
Growing?
Huh?
The collection growing?
Yeah, I got Arnie and I got Jack.
I love it. And so for those of you who are listening and you can't see it, Joel has a growing collection of
Funko Pops. Little
baby.
I've got the entire Queen band up on my front, and I also have Brutus Buckeye too.
Nice, nice. I really, really respect the Funko Pop collection. I actually have a fantastic son-in-law named Jack who has a pretty substantial Funko Pop collection himself. You might be impressed by.
I might.
Yeah, but I love the golfer Funko Pop collection. I might jump
too.
next on this program.
Okay.
And if anybody would like to send him this way, Joel Wilson is a big fan of not Michigan.
Have to do that here pretty soon.
Mhm.
And I'm glad your mug hat does not have that state up north of that team up north on it.
I know. I held it back for you, but I'm going to need some more really fun coffee mugs that I can flag in. So
Oh, I can't even say the word.
don't send him a Michigan State mug.
No. I can't even say the name.
I love it so much. I'll say it for you. And
I will say though, last year I played golf up there, and it's a beautiful state, close to the UP of that state up north. And I did pretty good. I shot an 82. Get this, it was so late in the season that they were closing the golf course. It's up in the UP of that state. They were closing the course 2 days after we got done. So they were already pulling some of the golf carts onto the trailers to pull them out. They said, yeah, we've only got 2 more days of golf.
Man, that's some cold golf. I go up in northern Michigan sometimes in the fall to visit a best friend of mine. And I play golf in Traverse City and I hang out in Traverse City. Whereas like summertime is lifestyles of the
Yep.
rich and famous. Madonna had a home up there. Kid Rock has a home up there. Beautiful Lake Michigan is an
Yep.
unbelievable lake. And there's some really cool golf up there. But I tend to play like spring or fall golf up there. And it's cold.
It was a little, but do you know what? You ever heard of Boyne Mountain?
Oh yeah, I went to Boyne last year.
That's where we played golf at Boyne Mountain.
Wow, that's really cool. That's a big ski region.
It's a big ski region, but they've got 4 golf courses on the. We had a little cabin up there and stayed in the cabin and played golf, and it was beautiful.
It is beautiful there. Yeah, if people are looking for a great golf destination, Traverse City, they don't need the advertising, but Northern Michigan, Lake Michigan is a stunner.
Well, I will tell you that we need to play golf at Mackinac Island. Do you know Mackinac Island has a golf course?
Yeah, I've heard about this. Of course, I have not played there. So, yeah,
And no, there's no electric vehicles on the course, on the entire island. You have to walk or get a horse anywhere you want to go. Now they do have some golf carts on the golf course, but the front 9 is one place. Then they load your bags on a horse-drawn carriage, and they take you to the back 9 to play the back 9.
wow. Okay, so it's done.
Yes, and the only way to get there is by ferry. So you ferry your bags over. They have a horse-drawn carriage come and take you to the clubhouse where you play the front 9. Then the horse and the carriage takes your clubs to the back 9. You play the back 9.
Awesome.
That's on my bucket list.
Yeah, I've played a lot of golf in my life, a lot of different climates and states and walking and riding. I have not had a horse-drawn carriage added to my golf round. I didn't even know that was an option.
There you go. They take like I said, take your bags from the front 9 to the back 9. So that's going to have to be on our bucket list. How's that?
That sounds good to me.
That worked for me. Well, we are going to wrap this. Another great show. Another great show. This has been fun. And when we come back next week, we will be talking about the John Deere and talking about who's going to win the Open Championship. We're going to come back with the top 10 names that we think are going to win the Open Championship next week.
Here we go. And also update on my friend, pro golfer, Isaac Rodea. He came in 3rd place at the California State.
There you go.
And again, he will be part of the Mexican Tour, the GGPM, and it's like Gira de Professional Golf Tour. And he's going to be a fun up-and-comer to watch. But congratulations, Isaac Rodea, number 3 at the California State Open. Excited to watch you do more.
I'm impressed with that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he had a eagle in his 4th round there, and I think he averaged like 5 birdies a day or something like that. So he played really well. I think he shot 11 or 12 under. So
yeah, well, we can't shoot. We can shoot 11 over on a round, but that's about it.
yeah, no, on a good day.
On a good day, exactly. Well, this is Joel Wilson. I will see you at the next tee box.
And this is Yo Girl Tammy. Till next time.